Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. The meaning of Dharma has been lost in translation to mean religion, whereas it actually means that which sustains, unites, and integrates. Param Poojya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda ji, in The Secret of Dharma, explains the principles of Dharma and how they help integrate our personality, live in harmony with others, and create and sustain a wholesome society. Secret of Dharma, a booklet by Param Poojya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda ji. To begin the inquiry into the secret of Dharma, let us think about the word Dharma. It has a long entry in any Sanskrit dictionary with much meaning. Religion is the most common mistranslation of Dharma. Of course, there are so many religions: Islam, Christianity, Jainism, Buddhism, and so on. Of a particular religion, there is always a founder. It is its holy book, place of worship, various rituals, customs, and traditions, all different from one another. The followers of each of these religions develop affinities or attachments which are sometimes fanatical, and that has brought about many wars. When we understand Dharma to mean a particular religion with rules, customs, and tradition, then we have grossly misunderstood its essence. We are going to think of Dharma as it is understood in the Sanskrit language and also in the Vedas and other Indian scriptures. Now, as you know, many English words have Latin or Greek roots. Similarly, most Sanskrit words have verbal roots and are formed with different added terminations. Dharma comes from the verbal root dhru, which means to uphold, to sustain, to integrate. So, the word dharma means that which sustains, that which integrates, that which unifies. So, what integrates and unifies? Dharma integrates the individual. Many of us are disintegrated from within. Some even have split personalities. We appear to have two entities within us, the ideal and the actual. One which we want to be, and another what we are. We often feel, think, and speak differently. Some of us are confused and don't know what to do. Someone may be hurt by what we have said, and then we will say, "No, no, I don't." Can't we say what we mean? We say that we didn't mean, and what we said, yet what we said was quite mean. In other words, what we think, feel, speak, and do are often disconnected. This lack of integration results in conflict both within ourselves and also with others around us. So, Dharma helps us to integrate our personality. If a person is integrated within, in thought, word, and deed, then that person is really happy. Some integrated in thinking wickedly and acting wickedly. Word that only creates conflicts, sorrow, and violence, which clearly is not the function of Dharma. The opposite of Dharma is Adharma, which means that which disintegrates. An adharmic person is disintegrated within and also divides the family and the community, which is the reason we see so much conflict in the world. Some people wrongly say that dharma creates wars. They, in fact, it is adharma that creates war, never dharma. However, wars like Mahabharata were fought to destroy adharma and re-establish dharma. The limited understanding of the meaning of dharma, together with fanaticism, has brought about untold of problems. So, dharma is an integrating factor. How is this integration accomplished? There have been golden ages in history when the community, society, and nation has prospered and progressed. Science, arts, fine arts have flourished when there is peace and happiness in individuals, equality and harmony in society, and political stability. Where there is no peace, all is in pieces. Wars often do not decide who or what is right, only what is left after the conflict. There can be no winners in a war because of the wrong intentions and the fallout at both the physical and psychological levels. But when the people are at peace within themselves and at peace with others, there is prosperity. So, this integration and happiness are the very purpose of Dharma. Prosperity alone does not bring happiness. For example, in the material world, success is measured only by the money acquired and the profit made. What we need to think is, has wealth brought any peace and happiness into our lives? Dharma also refers to values or such virtues of life such as honesty, compassion, non covetousness, and contentment. What is the difference between values and virtues? If you only respect them, then they are values. When we leave them, they become our virtues. These values of life, which become our virtues, are eternal and are known as Dharma. Is there not place for the value of honesty in every stage and every time, place, and circumstance of life? If honesty meant only for children, is honesty meant only for children? It is interesting to note that if older people do something dishonest, they think it is okay. But if a child is dishonest, they think the child must be corrected. Or if we see a small child smoking, we say it is bad for them. But does that mean smoking is good for an older person? It cannot be. Strangely, we accept dishonesty in business, but we want our accountant to be honest. Honesty has to be lived regardless of our profession and position in life. All values like non-violence, love, and compassion are necessary and are not time bound. All religions propagate these virtues. All believe that there must be oneness in thought, word, and deed. In the Upanishad mantra, it is said, "May my speech abide in my mind, and may my mind abide in my speech." If a person says one thing and does another, then he loses his credibility. His words are taken with a grain of salt. However, when we have integrated these values into our life, then the strength derived from them is unimaginable. Thus, Dharma as virtues brings eternal peace and happiness. It is interesting to note that when someone studies chemistry, physics, or maths, for example, and receives a mark of 90%, it is considered a very good performance. But suppose someone receives a 90% good result. Can we say that 90% of the time we are honest? As far as these universal and eternal values are connected, only 100% can be considered acceptable. Hindu is a dharma and not a religious sect sampradaya. Hindu dharma is also called Sanatan dharma, eternal dharma, as it has no real beginning or end. It is not meant only for specific individuals, communities, time or space, a place, but for everyone at all times. Now, another meaning of the word dharma is duty. Every person has an identity and role and also a duty for the role. When I get a job in a company, I also get an appointment letter identifying the position given to me, as well as my responsibilities and the duties I am to perform. Duty is always in reference to a person's identity and relationship with someone else. In the family, the child has a relationship to the parents and parents to the children, each with different responsibilities and duties appropriate to the relationship. Therefore, identity, then I also will be confused about my duty. Matters get more complicated when I have different roles with different identities and duties, sometimes in conflict with each other. The concept of duty can also be considered relatively eternal. For example, the basic relationship and duties between parents and children have remained more or less unchanged over time. As a child, my duties towards my parents are different from my parents' duties towards me. When I become a parent, I will have the same parental duties towards my children. Roles have changed, but that I have to perform duties has not changed. So now dharma defined as duty means that I must abide in the performance of my duty uncompromisingly. When we are well established in dharma as the performance of both virtues, values, and duties, our inner strength and physical energy increase tremendously. There is a famous statement that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. If I don't stand for my ideals, if I don't remain steadfast and firm, then I yield to temptations and have no strength. The world over, who is considered great? It is always the one who is established in Dharma, one who has not compromised with his values and has sacrificed for the sake of others. In both compromising and sacrificing, we give up something. In compromising, we renounce higher values and ideas for something lower. In sacrificing, we renounce our selfishness for the sake of something higher. So, a person who compromises values can never become great. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, I am the strength of the strong. This strength is not muscle power or money power, but the strength that is free from desires and attachments, which make us compromise our ideals. The Gita says that it is better to die whilst performing one's own duties than doing what is wrong or someone else's duties. We should do only that which is our own responsibility, our duty. Doing someone else's duty is called paradharma, which is also a form of adharma. If I remain steadfast, then my mind becomes single pointed and free from personal likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes are considered the dirt of the mind as they color our vision, make us insistent, jealous, prejudiced, and so on. A mind free of them is considered pure and sattvic or noble. So, of mind. As I perform my duties, my mind remains focused, becomes strong and pure. This concentration, strength, and purification of the mind is called Dharma. So, Dharma integrates the personality, integrates society, and leads to peace, prosperity, and happiness. Eternal values of life get integrated in our personality as virtues. We then integrate these virtues in the unconditional performance of duties. Another meaning of Dharma is our aptitude. Nowadays, it is said that we must have passion for our work. Often we find that people doing jobs which is not their passion. So they are not passionate in the performance of their duties and jobs. Naturally, there may be no job satisfaction, and work is done only to earn money. Such people are not following their real aptitude, their dharma. All their lives go in doing no aptitude and passion. Some say, after retirement, I will do what I always wanted to do. Some take an aptitude test and find out what profession they are inclined towards. One man discovered his aptitude for taking aptitude tests. So, when we perform duties which is of our aptitude, that is dharma. Only then is there job satisfaction. If we cannot identify our aptitude, then the only alternative is to learn to like what we get. By remaining steadfast in this approach, we may discover joy in whatever we do. The gold ore has lesser value than when it is purified. The gold ornament has still greater value than just gold, and the diamonds studded gold ornaments make it even more pricey. Now, by analogy, before I understood all of this about Dharma, I did whatever I liked. However, I discovered that if I perform my duties with values and virtues, then its beauty, like the gold ornament, is enhanced. But the performance of duty as a worship of the Lord is like diamond studded gold ornament. We must learn to do our work as worship. In case we do not believe in God, then we must work with dedication for a greater and higher deal. Those who have faith in a Guru and dedicate their actions to Him. Normally, I might be lazy or sloppy in my work, but if it is done for my Guru, then automatically quality improves. When I dedicate my work to God, then this dharma becomes bhakti or devotion. So ultimately, the fulfillment of dharma is in devotion for God. The Srimad Bhagavatam has a beautiful verse which says that the performance of dharma that does not lead to devotion for God is only labor. It has not given its true result. If we learn to do our duties as worship of God or as a dedication to any person whom we revere, then we find that we transform and find true peace, happiness, and fulfillment in life. Charity is also called dharma. Giving what is good for others without selfish motive is dharma. When I do something good for others, but for a selfish motive or for getting material or other worldly benefit, it is not the best of charity. It is desire prompted good karma. A person went to his priest and said, $1,000 to the church, but I want you to reserve my seat in heaven. The priest told him that he did not have the power to do that. However, he said, I will definitely put your name on the wait list. The An act of charity is also called dharma, even if the good action is desired prompted. Many people feel that they do good work at home or in the office or give in charity but are not appreciated for it. If we ask for appreciation, we may be told, who asked you to do it? But if you do the work or make the donation as a worship of God, then it makes no difference if someone appreciates us or not. So, these are some of the aspects of Dharma. Dharma is the eternal values, virtues of life. Dharma is our duties. Dharma is our passion, our aptitude, our purity of mind, and our devotion to God. Dharma is charity. By following Dharma, not only we ourselves but everyone can prosper. Dharma is also the law of being. we see that all aspects of the universe, the planets, the moon, and the stars, all follow their own dharma, their own true nature. When we sow an apple seed, only the apple tree comes out of it. Nature always conforms to the laws of Dharma. Dharma encompasses the entire universe. It is the integrating, sustaining, and unifying factor of the whole universe. Om Tat Sat Shri Guru